There is a country where the average household saves around 35% of its income, where working people retire with more than most high-earning people in other countries, where wealth is not worn, not displayed, not announced. Korea. This is not about K-pop or Korean skincare or the Korean wave. It is about the 5 financial habits that quietly run beneath the surface of Korean daily life. Habits that most people never notice because they are never performed. They don't show their money, they just have it. Habit 1. Guy. It is a rotating savings club that has existed in Korea for centuries. A group of people, friends, family, colleagues, each contribute a fixed amount every month. One person takes the full pot each cycle. Then it rotates. By the end of a full cycle, everyone has had access to a large lump sum at least once. On the surface, this sounds simple. But what it does to your financial behavior is significant. You cannot miss a month. The group depends on you. So the money is set aside before it can be spent. You do not negotiate with yourself. You do not talk yourself out of saving this month because something came up. The group removes that option entirely. Jai is also the opposite of debt. Instead of borrowing now and paying back later with interest, you save first and receive later without cost. And because the money arrives as a lump sum, it changes how you deploy it. Lump sums invite intention. Monthly trickles invite spending. Modern Koreans still run Guy in offices, in family group chats, among friends. It is not seen as unusual. It is seen as what you do. Habit 2. Nunchi. It is a Korean concept that roughly translates as the ability to read a room, to understand what is happening without being told, to sense the social atmosphere and respond appropriately. In financial terms, Nunchi means this: never announce your wealth, never perform it, never let your lifestyle reveal what is in your bank account. Koreans with significant wealth are often invisible. They drive modest cars. They wear understated clothing. They do not mention what their apartment cost. This is not poverty. This is discretion. And discretion has a direct financial benefit. When people do not know your income, they cannot pressure you to match their spending. When your lifestyle does not signal your wealth, you feel no pressure to maintain a performance. When no one knows what you have, you are free to do whatever is best with it. Most people spend to signal. The car, the bag, the holiday. It is communication through purchases. Korean Nunchi culture quietly dismantles that. You do not need to show what you have. The people who matter already know. Habit 3. Jeonse Mindset. Jeonse is a uniquely Korean housing system. Instead of paying monthly rent, a tenant pays a large lump sum deposit to the landlord, often 50 to 70% of the property's value. They live there rent-free for the duration of the lease. At the end, they get the full deposit back. The landlord earns by investing that lump sum. The tenant earns by avoiding monthly rent. Neither side is paying interest to a bank. It is a system built on capital, not credit. Most people are conditioned to think in monthly terms: monthly rent, monthly subscriptions, monthly payments on things they could not afford outright. This monthly thinking trains you to tolerate continuous small outflows. You stop asking whether you can afford the thing. You only ask whether you can afford the payment. Jeonse thinking is the opposite. It asks, what is the full cost? Can I save the full amount before I need it? What would I give up if I had to pay this all at once? These questions are harder to answer. That is exactly why they work. Habit 4. Ppali-Ppali. It is a Korean phrase meaning hurry, hurry. It describes the fast-paced energy that drives Korean economic output. Move quickly. Start before you feel ready. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Most people apply Ppali-Ppali to their career. Work harder, faster, longer. But financially sharp Koreans apply it to income streams, not to spending. They build additional income quickly without waiting for the perfect idea. A second skill turned into a service. A small product, a rental. Started imperfectly and started now. The average Korean household savings rate is around 35%. This is not just discipline, it is income. When you have more than one source, saving becomes structurally easier. You are not squeezing one salary to cover everything. Ppali-Ppali applied to wealth building sounds like this. Do not spend 2 years planning the perfect side income. Start something small and imperfect and learn from it. The speed of starting is the habit. Perfectionism is the enemy of the first dollar. Habit 5. Education as investment. Korean families are famous for the extraordinary lengths they go to in educating their children. They save aggressively for it. They sacrifice lifestyle for it. They treat it as non-negotiable. From the outside, this can look like pressure, but the underlying logic is sound. Skills compound, knowledge compounds. A better trained person earns more, makes better decisions, and builds wealth over a longer curve. The return on genuine skill investment outperforms most financial instruments over a lifetime. What Korean culture gets right is treating education as a capital allocation decision. Where will this knowledge produce the highest return over the longest time? That is the question driving the investment. The habit of treating skill development as a serious investment of yourself, of your time, of the people who depend on you, is the financial principle underneath the culture. The most valuable asset is always the person doing the earning. None of these 5 habits require a high income. None of them require a particular background. Guy, Nunchi, Jeonse thinking, Ppali-Ppali, education as investment. What they share is a particular relationship with money, not one of anxiety or performance, one of intention, of patience and speed in exactly the right places. Korea did not become one of the world's great economic stories by accident. It happened one quiet financial decision at a time. The real question is not whether these habits work. The question is whether you are willing to be the person no one notices getting wealthy. If this changed how you think about money, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And subscribe. There is more where this came from.